Today, we explain how Aviator and Crash games actually work. If you have visited an online casino any time in the last 3 years, you have almost certainly seen a small plane climbing across a graph with a multiplier ticking upward beneath it, and you have almost certainly seen it crash before you had a chance to cash out. Aviator is the game, made by a company called Provably, and it has become one of the most played casino titles on the planet. By the end of this video, you will understand the complete mechanics of how Aviator works, why the Crash format is structured the way it is, what provably fair technology actually means, how to read the statistics the game shows you, and what the real house edge is so you can make an informed decision about whether and how to play. Let us start with what Crash games are as a category, because Aviator is the biggest example, but it is not the only one. A Crash game replaces the spinning reel or the card table with a single rising multiplier. The multiplier starts at 1 times the moment a round begins and climbs continuously. It can go up to 2 times, 5 times, 20 times, 100 times, or, theoretically, much higher. At some point, it crashes. When it crashes, any player who has not cashed out their bet before that moment loses their entire stake. If you cash out while the multiplier is still rising, you receive your bet multiplied by whatever value you cashed out at. The entire game is the tension between waiting for a higher multiplier and the risk that it crashes before you act. That is the complete format. Aviator specifically was released by Provably in 2019, but it took until 2021 and 2022 for it to explode into the mainstream. It is now available at hundreds of casinos including Stake, Bet365, Leo Vegas, RainBet, and virtually every major platform running modern software. The game interface shows you the current round's plane and multiplier, a live chat feed of other players cashing out, and a history panel on the right side showing the results of recent rounds, which multipliers each round reached before crashing. You can place up to 2 bets simultaneously per round, which is a feature we will come back to later. The most important thing to understand about how Aviator works is the provably fair system, because it is the foundation on which the game's integrity rests. Traditional casino games use server-side random number generators that you simply have to trust. The casino runs the RNG, the casino tells you the outcome, and you have no way to independently verify it. Provably fair works differently. Before each round begins, Provably generates a server seed, and the player's browser generates a client seed, and these 2 values are cryptographically combined using a SHA-512 hashing algorithm to produce the round's outcome. The server seed is hashed and published to you before the round, so you can verify after the fact that the crash point was determined before the round started and was not manipulated in response to when you cashed out. After the round, the full server seed is revealed, and you can independently run the calculation yourself to confirm the crash point matches. This means Aviator is one of the only mainstream casino games where you have cryptographic proof that the outcome was not altered. Many casino operators and players still do not fully understand this system, which is why it is worth taking a moment to explain it properly. Now, let us talk about the house edge and the RTP, because this is where a lot of players get confused. Aviator has a published RTP of 97%. That means for every 100 units wagered across the game's entire player base, 97 are returned as winnings and 3 represent the house's margin. By comparison, most video slots run RTP figures between 94 and 96%, and many of the lower-end games sit at 92 or below. A 97% RTP makes Aviator one of the more player-friendly formats in online gambling from a theoretical return standpoint. The way the house edge is built in is through the crash distribution. The multiplier does not rise at random. The crash point is drawn from a distribution that is weighted to produce a specific long-run payout percentage. Roughly 1 round in every 3 will crash at or before 1.5 times. Roughly half of all rounds will crash before 2 times. Those frequent low multiplier crashes are what pay for the occasional 50 times or 100 times round that generates all the excitement. The statistics panel on the right side of the Aviator interface shows you the results of the last 50 to 100 rounds. Many players try to read patterns from this history, looking for streaks of low multipliers and predicting a big one is due, or seeing a recent 100 times and assuming the game will be conservative for a while. This is the gambler's fallacy, and it does not apply here. Each round's crash point is independently generated. The history panel tells you what happened in past rounds. It tells you absolutely nothing about what will happen in the next one. The game has no memory. A run of 10 consecutive rounds crashing below 1.5 times does not increase the probability that the next round will go high. Let us talk about the two main ways players approach Aviator, because understanding both helps you see the game clearly. The first approach is low multiplier, high frequency cashing out. Players set an auto cash out at somewhere between 1.2 times and 2 times. Let the game run automatically and collect a large number of small wins. The logic is that low multipliers hit frequently enough that you accumulate returns steadily. The problem with this strategy is that a single crash at 1 times, meaning the game crashes before any cash out is possible, wipes out the equivalent of several small wins in one round. Because crashes below 1 times happen in roughly 3% of rounds, a pure auto cash out strategy at very low multipliers will encounter these wipeout rounds regularly. The second approach is high multiplier hunting, where players wait for the 10 times, 50 times, or 100 times outcomes and bet on them specifically. The appeal is obvious. A single 100 times return on a meaningful bet changes your session entirely. The problem is that multipliers above 10 times occur in fewer than 10% of rounds, and multipliers above 50 times occur in roughly 1 to 2%. Waiting for these requires surviving long stretches of rounds where you either cash out small or lose entirely, and the expected value of waiting is still governed by the 97% RTP ceiling. High multiplier chasing is genuinely higher variance than low multiplier grinding, which means the swings in your balance will be more dramatic in both directions, but it does not change your expected return per unit wagered. The 2-bet feature is worth understanding specifically. Aviator lets you run 2 independent bets simultaneously in a single round. This is not a strategy that changes the odds. Each bet is subject to the same crash point, so if the round crashes at 1.5 times, both bets lose if you have not cashed them out. What the 2-bet feature enables is a hedging approach where you set an automatic cash out on the first bet at a low multiplier, say 1.5 times, and let the second bet ride higher manually. This way, if the crash happens early, you recover most of your stake from the first bet. If the round goes high, the second bet captures a larger return. This is not a mathematically superior strategy, but it does change how the session feels and reduces the psychological sting of frequent full losses. One feature to pay attention to in Aviator is the chat and the bet feed. On the left side of the screen, you can see other players' bets, their cash out multipliers, and sometimes their comments in the live chat. Some casinos show this feed to everyone watching, and some hide player identities. This social element is a deliberate design choice. Watching another player cash out at 78 times while your finger hovers over the button creates a specific kind of envy and urgency that a solo slot machine cannot produce. The game is engineered for this. The visible cash outs of other players function as social proof that big multipliers do happen and are available to you. The casinos where you are most likely to find Aviator running properly on a licensed platform include Stake, Bet365, Leo Vegas, 888 Casino, RainBet, and most operators using the Scribe game library. When you're choosing a platform to play Aviator on, the most important checks are the licensing information. You want a casino regulated by the Malta Gaming Authority, the UK Gambling Commission, or the Curaçao e-gaming authority at minimum, and whether the platform displays the Provably fair verification link for each round. If you can click on a completed round and see the server seed, client seed, and the hash verification, the game is running legitimately. If that information is absent or hidden, be cautious. To summarize everything in this video, crash games are a format where a rising multiplier can crash at any point, before or after 1x, and your only decision is when to cash out. Aviator by Scribe is the dominant title in this category and is available at hundreds of licensed casinos in 2026. The game uses a provably fair SHA 512 cryptographic system that lets you independently verify each round's outcome was not manipulated. The published RTP is 97%, which is better than most slots. Approximately half of all rounds crash below 2 times, which is the fundamental distribution behind the house edge. The history panel showing past rounds tells you nothing about future outcomes. Each round is independent. The 2-bet feature lets you hedge across a single round, reducing variance without changing expected return. And the social elements of the game, visible cash-outs, live chat, other players' bets, are intentional design features built to increase engagement. Now you understand the mechanics completely. If you found this useful, subscribe and hit the bell. We post explainers like this every week. Drop a comment below telling us what multiplier you typically target when you play Aviator, or whether you use the 2-bet hedge. And if you want to learn more about how casinos use welcome bonuses to get you playing and what the wagering requirements actually mean for your real balance, that video is right here.